What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Skillet. Yes, indeed. Skillet Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bob, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from, well, it's complicated, but let's start with how this really happened here. This is a request from Brett Parks, and this was actually one of Brett's 3 prioritized requests for the month of April for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Brett. I hope you enjoy the show. And the reason I'm putting the little asterisk there is because this actually wasn't Brett's pick. Brett took one of his prioritized requests and donated it to a member of the fan base who has been, he comments on every single video I've ever done. I mean, he's been here since pretty much day one, and he watches every single reaction that I do. He does. And I guess Brett saw that. And he said, you know what, I'm going to take one of my prioritized requests and I'm going to give it to this guy because he is a ride or die and he absolutely deserves this. So Brett donated one of his prioritized requests to Hardcore Christopher 9174. You've all seen him in the comments. I know you have. So Hardcore Christopher, this is being donated to you by Brett Parks. So yeah, Hardcore Christopher, thanks to Brett Parks, wanted to see me react to this song by Skillet called Live Free or Let Me Die. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Aragorn PK10, okay? And the video has 1.7 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Skillet, Live Free or Let Me Die, lyrics. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
And we'll wait and ruin then the rust of our craving. It feels like, don't you know the cost of your betrayal? You're the one that's lost, you're gonna fail. It feels like you're gasping with all your might. You can't take away my strength. Fix these broken things. There's nothing left to fight. We'll let me go. Can't take away my pride. I won't be denied. There's nothing left to fight. I'm on a wire, fire up on below, but I am higher. It feels like, don't you know the cost of your betrayal? You're the one that's lost, you're gonna fail. It feels like you're gasping with all your might. You can't take away my strength. Fix these broken things. There's nothing left to fight. Feel let me go. You can't take away my pride. I won't be denied. There's nothing left to fight. Feel let me go. Do you remember?
It's not a bad song. It's actually, I'm digging the tune. I am. Is there anything all that impressive about the song? Not really. There's nothing all that complicated about the song. Even the subdivision work, it's clean. The subdivision work is nice, and I like the impact that it's having on the verses. That dun. I like that. I really do. I'm feeling that part. That's probably the part of the song I'm feeling the most out of the entire song is those subdivisions. That dun. Yeah, man, it feels good. I dig it. Is it hard? No, it's not. It's not hard at all. It's really simple to do. You got to count. That's all you got to do. You know, it's a pretty easy thing to follow. But they're doing it well. They're executing it well. It's clean and it fits the song, and it adds to the song. I love it when bands try to get fancy with their subdivisions, and there's just no reason for it. There's no reason for it at all. It would have been perfectly fine if you had just taken a simple D chord and hit it and just let it ring. And instead, they make it, subdivided. And I'm like, why? What did that accomplish? Did that add? No, it didn't add. In this case, not only did it add, but I feel like it was necessary. If they had just, like let's say they had just did, 2 quarter notes, Jun, it would have been boring. It would have been absolutely boring. But with that, what are the? Ooh, wait a minute, hold it. 4. It had to be 30-second notes. So it's 30 seconds to 8s. No, 16s. Yeah, so 30 seconds to 60. Well, no, because that's if we're going 1, 2, 3. Now, if we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. So if that's the case, then it's 16ths and 8s. Depends. I'm not sure what tempo we're at. It could be halftime or double time. Not halftime or double time. It could be half and straight or straight and double. I'm not sure which. Shoot, I'm not 100% sure, but in any case, depending on where the tempo is, it's either 30 seconds of 16ths or it's 16ths and 8ths. I'm more inclined to believe 16ths and 8ths, but the feel of the song doesn't feel like it's that fast. It doesn't feel like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It feels like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what it feels like to me. Now that could just be really good execution on the feel from the drummer. It could be. I don't know. Tough to tell. It's a conflict. But it feels. But regardless, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The subdivision work is nice. It adds to the song. It doesn't detract. It doesn't become a distraction. As a matter of fact, it's my favorite part of the song. So they better not take it out. They better not change it. Vocally, it sounds fine. Guitar work sounds fine. Bass work sounds fine. Drumming sounds fine. But those subdivisions are what's really doing it for me more than anything else right now. Let's let's get back into this.
Take away my strength, fix these broken things, nothing left to find. You can't take away my strength, fix these broken things, there's nothing left to find. It's real, let me go. You can't take away my pride, I won't be denied. There's nothing left to find, nothing left to find. Let's feel, let me die. Let's feel, let me die.
Oh, I like that. Touch. That was nice. Pretty good. Nope.
Let's feel, let me die.
Just that one triplet there at the end. It's a good song. It's a good song. I want to be very clear that it's. I don't think that there was nothing bad. I didn't hear anything bad in the song. But by the same token, if people are expecting me to give this a 9, I got some really bad news for you. that ain't gonna happen. There's no way this is getting a 9, and I don't see it getting an 8 either. We might be in the 7s, possibly. Or we might be in the 6s. It's either going to be 6s or 7s. I'm just not 100% sure where. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Skillet with Live Free or Let Me Die. This was a request from Hardcore Christopher 9174, made possible by Brett Parks, because Brett Parks used one of his 3 prioritized requests for the month of April for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page, and he donated it to Hardcore Christopher 9174 for being a ride or die, hard member of the fan base. So yeah, your loyalty paid off, Chris. Thank you. And make sure you thank Brett for making this happen for you. Before I give the score, I'm just gonna say this now. Before anybody gets any ideas about hitting up the silver and gold tier members and asking them to do the same thing or begging them to do the same thing, guys, don't do it. Just don't do it. If they choose to donate their prioritized request to you, that's a whole nother issue. That's on them. But if you guys are asking them and harassing them and bothering them and bugging them and hitting them up like that, they're gonna let me know, and I'm gonna block you just instantly, just like that, okay? They don't need to be bothered. They don't need to be pressured. They don't need to be harassed, okay? If they feel like donating it like Brett did for Hardcore Christopher, because Hardcore Christopher, guys, no joke, has been here since like day 1. And he comments on every single video that I put out. There has not been a single video that I put out that he has not commented on. So he watches every single video, and Brett felt like rewarding that dedication. So that's up to Brett. That's because Brett wanted to. It's not because Hardcore Christopher asked him. All right? So do not go and harass the gold and silver tier members to, make a request for you. Okay, because if you do, and they come to me and say, "Hey, this person's doing that," then I'm gonna block you. Just done deal. All right. Anyway, let's move on to the score, shall we? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that a 6.6. 6.6. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first of all, 6.6. What does that mean? Well, it's a pretty good scale rating, so it gets a pretty good score, which is what a 6.6 is. It gets 3 out of 5 stars, and it gets a B letter grade. It's at the very bottom of the Bs. Any lower, if we go to 6.5, we go into the B minus range. So it's the lowest B possible, but it's getting a B, all right? So 6.6, pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how did I come to this score? So glad you asked. Definitely one of the heavier songs that I've heard from Skillet. Definitely had that heavy feel going for it. I liked that. I did like the feel of the song. The subdivision work in the verses, if I'm being honest, that was the highlight of the entire song for me, was that part. You know, I dug the rhythmic pattern they came up with. When they did do it, they had the syncopation going with everybody playing the exact same rhythmic pattern at the exact same time with those accents. It felt good. It felt really nice. I liked it, and I liked the layout afterwards. Really made it stand out, really made it pop. And for me, that was the hook of the song. I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, what about the chorus? What about the chorus? The chorus sounded fine. I got no issue with the chorus. It didn't grab me like the verses did with those rhythmic patterns. I'm sorry, that's just me personally. Was there anything wrong with the chorus? No, nothing at all. It sounded just fine. It sounded like your typical Skillet song. And therein lies the problem. Now, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. I love it when people use the word generic in a negative context. There's 2 ways to be generic. Your band sounds like every other band out there, or this song sounds like every other song that your band has put out. Okay, there's 2 ways. Now, if your band sounds like every other band out there, like there's 1,000 other bands and your band sounds exactly like them, to me personally, that's an issue. That's a problem. You may want to take a look at your band and make some changes to help you guys stand out a little bit. But when you have a band and they write songs, and you have, let's say you write 50 songs, right? And 35 to 38, maybe 40 of them sound very similar, and it sounds generic within your band. Is there anything wrong with that? No, because you have a formula. You found a formula that works for your band. There's nothing wrong with that. And especially when you stick to it because the formula works. Why would you want to change horses mid-race? You know, especially when you're in the lead. That doesn't make any sense. So you found a formula that works. It's getting you popularity. It's selling records. You're having success with this formula. Why would you change it? I don't know. But bands do. Bands do. First one that comes to mind, the band I always use as an example, Judas Priest. Look at the albums they had leading up to, what was it? British Steel, I think. Now, prior to British Steel, were they doing anything wrong? No, they weren't doing anything wrong, but they got to British Steel and all of a sudden they got their signature sound. And then from British Steel onwards, they had amazing success. They were getting radio play, they were selling albums, they were having success. And then they recorded Turbo. God! Let's try something new. Let's try synth guitars. What a terrible idea. Oh God, I loathe that album. That and Ram It Down. I mean, Ram It Down, they tried to get back to their old style, but they kept the synth guitars. Nah. So those 2 albums just ruined Judas Priest for me. Absolutely ruined them for me. So I don't always understand what I get it. People want the band wants to branch out. They want to try something new. Okay, fine, try something new once. Try it once, 1 album, you know? It didn't work, go back to our old format. Most bands do. Some bands, they try to beat that dead horse and do a second album. I just shake my head and I go, oh, you guys are losing fan base members. No, but but there's nothing wrong with a band finding a formula and making it work. And I know there's gonna be people that go, oh, they're gonna walk that well until it's dried out, and so what? Walk it till it's dried out. You know how long it takes to empty out a well? It takes a while, especially if you live in a rainy zone, or a very rain-heavy country or state. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a long while. So, you know, if the formula works for you, work it. Absolutely work it. So when I say the song sounded generic by Skillet's standards, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because it works for them. It absolutely works for them. And they've had how much success with this? And from what I saw on the screen when I was watching the video, this came off the Comatose album, which I think was the first album where they had some serious commercial success with, from what I was reading in the comments. It was like up to that point, it was the most successful album that they had put out. And I think it's because they found the formula that works for them. So no problems there. No, but it sounded really good. I enjoyed listening to it. John's vocals sounded just fine. Didn't hear any Jen's vocals. But the vocal work sounded really good. Guitar work sounded good. Bass playing sounded really good. Drumming sounded really good across the board. It just, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say that it was mind-blowing. It wasn't mind-blowing. I wasn't blown away by the song, but it did sound good. I enjoyed listening to it. I think the songwriting, from a songwriting standpoint, I think it's a pretty good job. Love that rhythmic pattern in the verse. I know the chorus is probably going to be everybody else's hook, but that's okay. Overall, I think if they combine everything together, I think they did a pretty good job with this. I do. Would I listen to this again? Believe it or not, I would. Absolutely. It's got the heaviness that I look for in a song that I want to listen to. A little slower maybe, but you know, sometimes with those slower songs, you can really get some heaviness going there. You really can. Sometimes when you go a little fast and you try to have a heavy song that's super fast, it can get messy. It can. So this was not. It felt good, sounded good. I enjoyed it, and I would absolutely listen to this again without question. Playlists, yeah, playlists. Driving around town, yes, definitely. Long drives, driving to Vegas, yes, absolutely. Gym. Might be a little too slow for the gym. Maybe for free weights, maybe for weights. Maybe I could use this. It's got the heaviness. Yeah. Okay. I would be willing to put this on the gym playlist to give it a shot. I'd be willing to give it a try and see how it goes. I may take it off, you know, after a couple of weeks. I may go, it's not working for me. But I'll give it a try. I'll give it a shot. How about that? So it's gonna go on all three. So yeah, I feel good about that score of 6.6, and that is where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in nice shiny bows, shall we? 6.6, pretty good scale rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hopefully you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.